Oh my god, we're actually in the game. Let's go. Today we're going to have Ruby Wolves taking the place of a team who couldn't make it against Affliction. Still, we're going to have Nurse on Wrecker's Yard. And I'm sorry to interrupt your guys' music jamming session, but this should be a very, very exciting game nonetheless. We have Toby immediately coming over to the corrupt generators, trying to find a survivor out in the open, but not able to find anyone just yet. The survivors are doing a great job of hiding around this area, making sure that Toby isn't able to find them as they spread out, trying to work on generators. We see two survivors already working on generators. Ninja Volts was the only person nearby to where Toby was, and now the survivors who are also nearby are spreading out. We see the fun bus activated, but that sprint burst is going to ensure that Toby isn't able to get a hit just yet. And on top of that, they're going to be running all the way over towards these corrupted generators, removing any pressure that would have been gained from chasing near the other survivors as well.
Yeah, very, very exciting start here. The chase in the corrupted area. Good work so far by Affliction, and apologies from me as well for this longer waiting time here. The team that was supposed to play this match dropped out, so we had to get Ruby Wolves in. Thank you so much to Ruby Wolves to play this match here as a replacement. And then you guys know that you set up a match, the lobby crashes, you have to do everything again. This is what we just faced in the background. But Toby here struggling to get the first connection onto a survivor. We are 90 seconds into the game. That's even punished with a potentially doubled up generator in the distance there, and the survivor running deep into corrupt. Once again, we have a little bit of traveling going on here on the Wrecker's Yard. Now the mech is zoned, but I don't think the survivor is going to worry too much, because 100-second chase against the Nurse is a really, really good opener here, and potentially we're going to see a second generator.
Especially because this death did come in through the corner. We know the survivors were working on generators far, far away. Paralyzed, the only one nearby, but a lot of gen progress is going to come through nonetheless, especially when Wand is immediately setting up for the save. Toby not able to find them as well as they look over in that direction, but Wand in such a good hiding spot there behind the rock, behind the tree. But ooh, Toby should have seen them at the corner of their eye if they were looking on the left side of their screen, and there are the scratch marks heading over towards the save, and the save does come through. Wand is going to be able to safely get Ninja out of there. However, Ninja still has to do the trek all the way across the lands, as they are going to take their borrowed time hit. Now heading over towards Fun Bus, no sprint burst able to get them out of the scenario, and so a down again will come through. Only DS could save them in this scenario, but even if they have it, they don't have much to work with, and the down will come through in another hook as well. Going to be a good start for Toby here, able to get a very, very fast tunnel out. However, we see that call of Brian letting Toby know that the survivors are working on a generator that is kind of nearby, so a lot of pressure are going to be put onto the survivors to make sure that they're able to keep up with the gen pressure and the tunnel out. We see another gen popping in the distance. That's going to be some great gen pressure coming out from the way there, especially since Paralyzed is almost done with their generator. However, Ninja, going to be saved by Wand once again, is going to need to make sure that they make a lot of distance, that they don't want to be tunneled out here. We see another survivor nearby, maybe potentially trying to take a hit. However, that's going to be a hard thing to do against a Nurse, as they're just going to blink right past you. We see Toby immediately blinking right where the survivor would be, and then another prediction blink on top of them. A wonderful tunnel out now onto Ninja. 3 survivors are going to remain at 3 generators remaining, but almost 2. I believe Paralyzed is going to have time to pop their generator that they were working on previously before the hook comes through, and yep, there it is. So 2 generators do remain, but only 3 survivors do at the same time. So this is going to be a very, very hard position for the survivors to come back from if Toby is able to quickly down survivors left and right. And it seems with Kavera in the corner right here, it's going to be hard press for the survivors to make any pressure on opposite generators, since Kavera was the survivor who was working on a lot of those generators at a distance. And especially now that we have a semi 3-gen on this bottom side of the map, which is exactly where Kavera is landing, I was going to say it's going to be a hard chase, but Toby seems to have lost him, probably thanks to lucky break, as we see Juan popping a gen and Kavera resetting, now able to get away because of that Paralyzed. The only person nearby is going to have that sprint burst available to try and make some distance away. However, they're not going to have much to work with other than this pallet. Toby is going to make a wonderful play of not prediction blinking, and instead safely blinking outside of the pallet range, and now getting a guaranteed hit onto Paralyzed because of it. They do a great prediction blink, but they're not able to land the second one on top of Paralyzed, and now has to run all the way up to the opposite corner. Kavera has reset in the meantime, and Wand is probably already on a generator, so dying in a corner in this state is going to be very, very good for the survivors of Affliction. This is going to be a great position for them to be in.
Absolutely, it's brutal what the Survivor team is putting up here at the moment. We have 4 stages in exchange for 4 generators, and the last generator is already over the 60% mark. Yes, you're in the scenario of a 3v1, but you did need quite some time here, and the Survivors have punished that very, very beautifully with their gen pressure. We do see an instant rescue in the distance as well, so our Minha is back in the trial, and there's not even the chance to go for a tunnel out because so much distance between Toby and our Survivor here. Affliction playing on point. Sloppy Butcher is not really coming into effect just yet. We do not have enough injuries across the board here to make that work, but we do catch one Survivor leaving from the outside of the Wreckers Yard towards the midsection once again. That's going to be our fate here. Firecracker! What a wonderful play by Affliction here, making sure that more distance is taken into a wonderful double back, and the second blink wouldn't be a connection onto the Kate here. Very, very nice showing off by Affliction right now. In the meanwhile, I can't
Did they play the
last generator. Yeah, this is so insane here. They are playing it without anything, and Kate still in the open here, running away, but Toby can't find them again, needs to rotate back towards this generator here, and we talked about that gen pressure. 2 Survivors already on this final generator here, 50% of progress already in there, and great communication as well. We do see Ace leaving very, very early here, trying to prevent the hit, and Toby not finding the double blink here, so that's also going to be a little bit of additional time here until you can go for a full double blink once again, and that's distance for our Ace. Once again, bring us all the way back towards the northern side of the Wreckers Yard here. Blink with the prediction, and then line of sight breaker. Once again here, Ace absolutely doing a phenomenal job breaking line of sight and hugging these tiles. He is injured just now, but we see that our Minha is still injured, so the Survivor is sticking to a generator, and the question is Toby quick enough with the down here? That was a very, very nice blink here. Is the slug coming through? No, he decides to go for the pickup, but that's going to be generator number 5 coming through. Wand already leaving this one. They do not want to be found together for an endgame slug here, even though we do not see an endgame perk by Toby. The nurse is very powerful when it comes to last second pressure here, and generator number 5 on the way very soon. Instant unhook right there, leading into the endgame.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very hard position for Toby to try and find a down. They want to find Wand if possible, trying to get those full points, the 7 points maximum on that Survivor. But they do have Paralyzed down right next to where Caveira is. This could be a 2-man slug. This could be the 3K coming out for Toby after a very, very dangerous situation that they were in previously. And we see Caveira right next to where Toby currently is. This could be a blink. The prediction comes through. The second one should land, and Toby goes for it, but a double back. It's going to save Caveira for the next couple of seconds. Wand is open the door already. Caveira needs to make their way across towards that door if they want to make sure that they're escaping here in this scenario. They're making a wonderful play, a lot of distance gained off of those, off of that positioning, but Toby not gonna go for it. Instead sees Wand heading back for the slug. They want to get their confirmed stages at least, but Wand, again, the most important Survivor to get down and out right now. If they're able to do some quick 2 blinks back to back, but they barely miss. Wand able to make some little bit of distance away from Toby, and that's just enough to make sure that Toby isn't able to confirm the second hit on top of them, and that's going to be the 2 Survivors escaping. Both of them, one of them not hooked at all, and one of them only hooked once. Paralyzed is going to go away. That's going to be 5 or 4 more points in the way of the killer, but that's going to be another 4 points in the way of the Survivors as well. However, that is still going to lead with Toby in the lead, a 17-14, but still a very, very close game, and a game that is going to be very, very hard for Ruby Wolves to contest with, since, you know, Nurse typically on this map should 3K or 4K if they play exceptionally well.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really difficult task here. Affliction has set themselves in such a wonderful spot here. We do see a little bit of locker hitting there by Toby, but Affliction being on point, punishing every single mistake the killer was doing here, and that's very impressive on the Wreckers Yard. We are setting up the next match, and we are going to be back for you straight after a short break.
Potente. Dá pra ver a Minha. E ela... Não sei se ela percebeu que eu vi ela. Ela percebeu. Acho que o Interedit vai jogar pelo save. DH. Basement. Puta merda. Desgraçado. Não pode Camaro, né? Tá muito safe. Tá retardado esse reino já. Info de todo mundo. Quem fez o primeiro save foi o Ace, né? Ok. Deliverance. Ele voltava. mais um acho que é a vitória, né? Acho que sim. Safe. Eles erraram o overcharge? Inacreditável. Ah não. Era o Coffee Brine só. Ah, tá aqui. Se eles tacarem dois, talvez eu já ensaio. Aí vai dois que eu check insta. Acho que tem dois lá. Sprint. Resetaram. Eu vi ela direto. Quebrar esse gancho aqui pra não tomar dead zone depois. Bleed out a quantos pontos? Alguém consegue ver primeiro? Sim, os dois são da F-Hook. Salve. Muleta. Salve. É isso, estamos. Ganhamos $10, estamos milionários. Não, não. Agora é outros dois times que vão jogar. Vídeos.
Hello everybody and welcome to the second match in this set. We're going to see Ruby Wolves now on Survivor and Affliction on the Nurse. We saw Phenom previously going against the DBD League staff team, and they did a very, very wonderful performance, getting to 4K, I believe, at 3 generators remaining. So I'm excited to see what they're able to do here. Immediately finding Ephemeral in the corrupted generators. This is going to be a very, very quick tag, and should be a quick down as well, unless Ephemeral is able to make a vault and potentially use Lithe. But no, the down will come down at the lockers. A very, very fast down from the way of Phenom. This should be a hook immediately, as the survivors aren't going to be able to have much gen pressure. Phenom is running that same build that we saw before as well, that generator kick build, making sure that they have the qualifying and overcharge to force the gen regression as fast as possible. And on top of that, instead of bringing, I believe before it was Pop Goes the Weasel, they're going to bring Sloppy Butcher to make sure those resets don't come out as fast as possible.
Yeah, very dangerous Nurse here once again. You mentioned the combination to kick these generators, Call of Brian and Overcharge coming in just now, and especially if you are a confident Nurse and able to split the injuries across the Survivor team, then Sloppy Butcher is going to do a lot of work for you, going for the double blink here, and that connects into the back of Winter Edit here. That's going to be a little bit of shake for the Ruby Wolves, and the rescue coming through. Nurse instantly going back, wants to go for the tunnel out here as soon as you're facing the 3v1 scenario. You do have an easier time. Our Survivor going towards the edge map, trying to get as much distance as possible, and also trying to make sure that we are trying that they are taking as much time as possible. But even this one is going to be a quick down. First generator being completed throughout all the pressure here. Props to Ruby Wolves for this early start, but a decisive strike coming out as well. That might be a little bit of a chance here, but with the new 3-second combination and Nurse just being a very, very mobile killer, you're not making it anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that was a hook. I switched over the cameras, but it was too soon. We saw that the hook will, or the DS will come through, and almost the pallet save they're trying to force that the basement couldn't be a place where the killer could actually go. Very, very wonderfully played by Ruby's Wolves there, but Phenom getting that second hook, that's going to mean that the tunnel is going to be so easy coming into these later stages. The score already is 19-20. Affliction has gained the lead now. The survivors are going to have to play very, very well if they want to make sure that Affliction can't sustain this lead that they have right now onto the survivors. Phenom is going to try to blink now back to Ephemeral, trying to consolidate their pressure in this one area. They have a very, very solid 3-gen in this area and a hook in the middle of it. It's going to be a very, very good position for Phenom to be in. There's no reason for them to leave this position. The survivors are going to have all the aggression in this scenario, and the generators they're working on aren't even near completion. All of them only at around 40%, and they're going to be 3-gen if they pop those 3 generators as well. Phenom has forced them in a very, very difficult situation, especially since Ephemeral is almost out of the game.
Yeah, and this is the important thing, right? Out of the game on 4 generators, still standing. The 3v1 scenario going to be a tough challenge here for the Ruby Wolves on the Wrecker's Yard. Now it's confirmed elimination from this trial. 2 points awarded for Phenom and Team Affliction here. We do see that the survivors are working on this mid generator. Phenom is happy with just pushing them off, interrupting them for a little bit. Now rotating towards this fun bus, and what a game sense knowing that the survivors are working on this one. This generator is close to completion, but now Call of Brian is coming in, going for the regression here, and what a blink onto Winter Edit. Phenom activating in this game, instant 2-tap onto this survivor, grinding for the hook stages. Number 4 coming out already. 3 generators to go, 4 stages for the killer already, looking very different in comparison to the first trial here. They do get another generator done in the midsection. That's an important location to complete the generators, not allowing the nurse to chain this one into any 3-gen setup. But this generator here that was all the way towards 90% is still regressing from the call of Brian. Unhook coming through, and Ace is going to take the tag here, so they will get off the trade here. A little bit of back and forth, but Toby is going down. Winter is taking the distance, but Phenom at this point just happy to take the stages.
Yeah, that's going to give them 3 more points. That's going to be an insane lead now that Phenom has. The survivors are going to need to work to break his 3-gen as well, as he still does have that area. And as Direwolf mentioned beforehand, Colubrine and Overcharge are still applied to this generator in the corner, meaning the survivors are going to have to work on this one as well. Phenom in a great position here. The only thing that I would say is going against Phenom in this situation is they have their 3-gen hook broken, since they did take the death onto Ephemeral earlier. But finding Dan out right now is such a great find, as now you have all survivors at least injured, and Dan is also going to go up on top of the hook. The survivors are going to need a reset, but Toby is going to be broken thanks to, I believe, Deliverance coming through there, and Slobby Busher is going to mean that Winter Edit isn't going to be healed in a timely manner either. That's again another 3 points coming out on the way of Phenom for that another fresh hook. Every survivor has been hooked at least once. The instant save, however, will come through. Winter Edit was nearby, or Toby, to try and get that save, but another survivor should be working to break the 3-gen, and Phenom knows that, heading now over towards where the survivors would be working on there, but they're walking. They want to make sure that they're conserving their blinks so that they can get a nice 2-tap onto Winter Edit here. But, ooh, they are not going to be able to chain the second blink, and Winter Edit, able to make a lot of distance, is going to die in the corner. Toby was nearby beforehand, however, so Phenom maybe could blink back, but no, instead just going to go for the pickup. This could mean that the gen potentially does get popped if Toby was working on it, but no, he was too scared. Now just going to go back into the corner gen where the fun bus is at, but another hook onto Winter Edit here. It's going to mean another 2 points and deciding the matchup of this game. Already a 10-point lead on Affliction because of so many hooks that have come back and forth between the generators, and now not able to break any of those generators because the survivors have been so pressured by the killer so far.
Yeah, and this is just a phenomenal game here by our nurse. Tutorial session, how to split the pressure on the Rackers yard. We mentioned the sloppy butcher earlier, and how important it is to keep the injuries across the survivor team, and Phenom is able to do exactly that. We have at least 2 survivors of the team constantly being injured. That's a lot of reset time that is added up, and that is giving you a lot of time to chase or just scout the map for potential survivors that are going into the next chase. Here we do see the scratch mark leading away, and once again, what a confident blink here inside of the truck, checking if the survivor would double back. That's not the case, and then going for another one. This one was too confident here. There's a nice double back by our survivor, preventing the instant down here, but the generator pressure is not that high at the moment, and also you do need to be very careful if you go for a reset here or not, and if so, you would suffer from the sloppy butcher. Just going into the corner here, wasting as much time as possible. Good decision by Dan, trying to find a counterplay against Phenom. We see once again the survivors hopping onto these generators in the distance. They might get this one on the fun bus done, since we had progress there earlier, but then in 55 seconds removed from this trial, and we will see a 2v1 scenario with potentially 2 generators still standing, which is close to impossible, and that makes so many things easier here. 2 more points to Ruby Wolves for getting that 4th generator done. Now is the question, where is generator number 5? When will we go into the end game? Nice distance being taken here by Toby, the unhook in the distance as well. At least Phenom now aware that the 5th generator is not coming out anytime soon because these survivors are busy, but good work here by Toby using these tiles to break line of sight, but unfortunately going down here at the bottom of this 4 lane is going to be on the hook. We do see the reset coming in by Ruby Wolves, potentially a good decision here. Toby has 60 seconds more hang time, and if you do have healthy survivors, you can potentially go on a little bit of a longer run here. Unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to contest the generators if you do need a rescuer here, so it's all about not being found immediately again, or at least taking a longer chase here. We see 2 generators being in line here, another one a little bit on the left side, so a 3-gen setup kind of available to Phenom, and the survivor already located just with this filler pallet here. So judging Phenom's confidence blinks from before, that should be a quick down here.
Yeah, and we see the first hit coming through. Dan doesn't really have anything to play around with, as you mentioned before, only this filler, and Phenom is immediately going to blink past him, and then on top of him, Toby in the meantime will get saved, but this is going to be Dan out of the game. Another kill, only one generator remaining, but it's a 3-gen. It's going to be very difficult for the survivors to try and break this 3-gen, as well as Phenom is immediately going to return back over there. The only thing that they can really do in this situation, I would say, is reset and play this very, very slowly, but you're going to have insane chases if you want to get this final generator done, and it's going to be a very, very difficult position. However, the survivors instead are just going to try and get as much pressure as possible. We see the scratch marks here. We know a survivor was nearby trying to get some gen progress there, and there they are. That is Winter Edit being found. A quick hit coming through as well. This should be the 2-tap and the down now onto Winter Edit, and then the slug to try and find that 4th survivor. Very, very wonderfully played by Phenom. Now Toby needs to make sure that they're hiding as good as possible, making sure that they're able to make their way over to Winter Edit. And let's see where exactly they are. They're right nearby where the nurse is. I think the nurse sees them. You're looking through the window, and so are we.
Yeah.
The sprint burst will come through. The off the record will come through, but Toby not able to make any distance with both of those coming through, and are still just going to go down the same as any other survivor. Another 2-tap coming through, and that should be the 4K at 1 generator remaining, and the win for Affliction.
Wonderfully played by Team Affliction here. Congratulations on winning this scrim and the $10 for this one, Phenom, and the survivor team of Affliction as well. So efficient, no mercy, and absolutely on point with the performance. So very, very impressive here. Thank you to Ruby Wolves for hopping in for Gaussian Eliminators. That team unfortunately couldn't make it here for their game, so Ruby Wolves hopped in. Thank you so much, guys, and we will see Ruby Wolves actually again in the upcoming match. They hopped in for this one, but were scheduled for the next one. Together with that, we see the Baldies, a new formed competitive team. That's what the community night is about. If you're currently watching, guys, and you do have a friend group and you would like to play competitive Dead by Daylight, just test it and play a game with our rules, our balance, and our casters, then join the community night. Signups will open in our Discord server tomorrow, and they will be up until Wednesday evening. You can hop in with your team. We're going to schedule you against the team on your experience level. Sometimes we even have coaches around to give you some feedback. So if you ever wondered how DBD Comp works, this community night is the perfect chance to get your hands onto competitive Dead by Daylight. All regions are allowed. Just form a team, tell us who you are, and then we are going to play with you. So